All right, what's going on, guys? So, today I'm going to be talking about leadership and what I personally think makes a good leader. So, starting off with the list, I'm going to go ahead and talk about setting the bar. I think as a leader, you should be setting the bar, leading by example. Others can look at you and see you as the example of what they should do, how they should act, how they should move. They should see your work ethic. They should see how you carry yourself and use it as an example. If you are the leader and they are following you, they should have respect for you, not because you make them fear you, but because you've gained their respect because you set the bar. You lead by example. I think a leader who does not portray the qualities in which he tells his followers to abide by is not a good leader. All right? So you can't gain someone's respect as your follower if you are not leading by example. First and foremost, you have to be the example. All right? Another thing I want to talk about is being relatable. I think a true leader has to be relatable, because if you have a leader and they want to portray themselves as this person who is so perfect, you're doing everything wrong, I'm doing everything right, I've never done anything wrong, everything you do is wrong, I have never done anything wrong, that is not a true leader. There's a difference between a boss and a leader, in my opinion. You can boss people around. You can abuse your power and boss people around. But like the saying says, with true power comes great responsibility. And I think if you are in power as a leader, you should be relatable. People should be able to look at you and see themselves in you. Even though you might be ahead of them, you might be a more advanced version of what they currently are, but they should be able to look at you and say, okay, I see the progress. I see how he did it, and I can do it too. I see that he wasn't always this way. He had mistakes as well. I make mistakes, you make mistakes. And you should be able to see that and relate with that person. A leader should be relatable. I don't think a leader is supposed to be this perfect person. They should definitely set the bar, but it is okay if the leader has made mistakes in the past, because that's the only way you will be relatable to people, is by letting them know that you have made mistakes in the past and you are not perfect. You understand where they are coming from because you were once in that position. So you understand where they're coming from, right? They have to be able to see the journey and all the trials and tribulations that you went through, the mistakes you made and how you learned from them. Because how can you teach someone how to do something that you've never experienced? You've never been through that. You don't know how it feels, respectfully. And that's leading me into my other point, having compassion. I think if you are a leader, you have to have compassion for your followers. Of course, if you are a leader, your word is what people should follow. But you should still take into account your followers' input and opinions and have compassion. Because, like the last point I was talking about, you were once in that position, so you can understand where they're coming from. And if they tell you, hey, they put in some input and they're following you and they think this can be done a little bit different, you should be able to take it into consideration. I'm not saying as the leader you take it in and you completely change what you're gonna do because someone told you to. This can go for you being a manager somewhere, or even with your woman. If you are the leader of the household and she gives you input, you shouldn't be someone who says, fuck what you think, I'm the leader, I'm not listening to shit you say because I'm the boss. That's abusing your power. You have to be able to take her input into consideration, or your followers' input, and take a second and have compassion and think about, okay, how is this affecting them? Can I do something to make it better? Can I change something to suit everyone in a better way and make sure we are all being productive? Or is it better to do it this way? And that's another thing I want to talk about, knowing when to say no. Because if you are a leader and people are following you, or your woman, if you are the leader of the household, sometimes people might have input. But you as the leader, you have to decide whether your wisdom and the knowledge that you have based on your experiences is the better way to do it. And you have to make that call. And sometimes you're going to have to say no. You don't have to be an asshole about it, but sometimes you got to say, hey, break it down, explain it. No, we cannot do that. And this is why. I understand that's how you feel. I understand you think that is a better way. But I know that this is the better way. So we're going to have to do it this way instead. That is one of the qualities of being a leader. You have to know when to say no. Because if you are a pushover, you can't be a leader. The leader has to be strong. He has to be a rock. He has to be solid. And if you say yes to every request, then I wouldn't trust your leadership. And I don't think others would. People will take advantage of that. Whether it is people following you or your woman. If you do not know how to say no, people will take advantage of that. You give someone an inch, they'll take a mile. You give someone a hand, they want to take the whole arm. So you got to know when to say no, when to guide, when to steer whatever it is or guide it in the right direction, because you are the leader. Another thing I want to talk about is knowing when to push people. When you see other people, they might be tired, they might be going through something. You got to know when to say, hey man, let's pick up the pace here. You as the leader, you have to be able to push others to be better, to strive to do better. But like I said before, you have to lead by example. Because you can't sit on this moral high ground and tell people what to do, but you don't do it yourself. Right? So you have to lead by example. And yeah, man, that's pretty much what I want to talk about today. Leadership and what I think makes good qualities in a leader. All right? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Like the video and subscribe. I'm out.